What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And today's main story is that Liverpool are willing to spend some big money on Jadon Sancho this summer, but Raphael Honigstein, the German football expert, says that Liverpool can only afford to spend that amount on Jadon Sancho if we are willing to sell one of our star players, maybe one of the front three, or maybe the likes of Naby Keita, Divock Origi, Oxlade-Chamberlain and other players who are surplus to requirements, Harry Wilson. But according to many reports in English and Spanish and German news outlets, Liverpool want to sign Jadon Sancho this summer, and also it comes after reports saying that Borussia Dortmund would accept a kind of a discount price for Jadon Sancho because they have a gentleman's agreement with Jadon Sancho regarding his summer transfer. Last summer when Man United came in for Jadon Sancho, he said no to them, and of course this summer with Liverpool coming calling, I think that would be an even better and even more attractive proposition for Jadon Sancho. So let me know what do you think about this news in the comments below, and leave a like if you enjoy these Liverpool transfer news updates. Subscribe if you haven't already. And reliable and reputable journalist Fabrizio Romano added that Dortmund director Michael Zorc has confirmed that there is a gentleman's agreement in place which would allow Jadon Sancho to leave the club if the right bid, if the right transfer fee arrived. If it's around 80 to 90 million pounds, then they are going to sell him. This is what Michael Zorc, the Dortmund director, said. We already had the gentleman's agreement with Jadon Sancho since last summer that he can leave the club under certain conditions. However, this agreement does not exist with Erling Haaland, so Dortmund probably don't want to sell Haaland. But I think last summer when Dortmund refused Manchester United's transfer offer, Michael Zorc probably discussed with Jadon Sancho that next summer you can leave if the right offer comes in. If Dortmund is satisfied with the money that they are getting, Jadon Sancho will be allowed to leave Dortmund. And I think Dortmund are very unlikely to finish in the Champions League places in the Bundesliga. It's still a close race. But even if they finish in the Champions League places, Jadon Sancho would have a much better chance of winning trophies and titles at Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp. And I think Liverpool really needs somebody like Jadon Sancho, who scored 12 goals and got 18 assists in 34 appearances. So if you add that up, he contributed to 30 goals in just 34 games this season, which is an absolutely incredible return. And also, he's just a young player still, so I think he has still a lot of room to grow and develop and become a world-class player. The one player that I don't want Liverpool to sell under any circumstances is Mohamed Salah. I think, and of course other key players in midfield and defense. But from all the attacking players at Liverpool, the one player I think Liverpool have to keep is Mohamed Salah. So it's a little bit concerning that Salah still hasn't been offered a new contract. He said that he hasn't heard anything from Liverpool, but probably Liverpool with Salah still having like two years left on his contract, it's not a priority during the middle of the season. But I'm sure that in the summer Liverpool will sit down with Salah and hash out a new contract, because Salah still wants to win trophies and titles at Liverpool next season. He still has said that, so he's not like actively looking to leave the club. But we shouldn't upset Mo Salah and not offer him a new contract in the summer, because then he might leave. And who can replace Mo Salah's 30-35 goals every season that he scores? And Sancho hasn't been as consistent this season as he was in previous seasons, and maybe with the rise of Erling Haaland at Dortmund, the hype around Jadon Sancho has died down a little, which I think suits Liverpool, because to sign a player who is as much hyped as Haaland or Mbappe, it would be almost impossible for Liverpool to sign them because of the incredible transfer fee, the wages that they would command, and also because many clubs would be interested in signing them. However, Jadon Sancho has flown just a little bit under the radar, but he's still a brilliant world-class player in my opinion, and I think Liverpool would be an absolutely great destination for him. He still wants to come back to the Premier League. He still wants to come back to England, his home country, and show English people what he can do in the Premier League. So I think it's only a matter of time when Jadon Sancho comes back to the Premier League, and not if he comes back. And Liverpool should be first in line for a player like Jadon Sancho, because he could come and play for Liverpool for the next 10 years and become a club legend here. So I'm sure that there is a really good incentive and possibility for Jadon Sancho coming to England. And Jurgen Klopp was asked in his pre-Man United press conference whether Liverpool not finishing potentially in the Champions League places in the top 4, will that impact Liverpool's summer transfer plans? Will that impact any player contracts that Liverpool have with the players? He said, I don't think so, really. Playing Champions League obviously is massive, especially from a financial point of view for Liverpool Football Club. So it's really important. But if we cannot make that, then that's not good. Definitely not. I don't think it will change anything, because the situation was difficult before and it is difficult after. Football is in a difficult situation. We are still in the pandemic. I don't think it will change a lot. And there is still no reschedule no rescheduled date for the Man United Liverpool game. We might have to play that after the season is finished, but I think the last game of the season every team has to play at the same time. I think that's in the Premier League rules. And also what another thing is in the Premier League rules is that a club should be deducted points, and the club should be awarded the victory to the opposition if they cannot guarantee the safety of the players, if they cannot guarantee the game going ahead because of their fans. It's actually in the Premier League rulebook that Liverpool should get the 3 points because Man United couldn't guarantee the game going ahead with no fault of their own. From Liverpool's point of view, Liverpool had nothing to do with the game not happening. It was Man United fans who couldn't guarantee the game going ahead. So according to Premier League rules, I'm just stating to you guys, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. According to the Premier League rulebook, the 3 points should be awarded to Liverpool, but because the Premier League is probably favoring Man United many times throughout the years, I'm not holding my breath, and I'm not expecting certainly of the game not happening, because it's huge for the broadcasters, for Sky Sports, so they will be desperate to get the game happening. And basically Sky Sports rules the Premier League, which I think is pretty wrong, but that's the sad reality of modern football, where football is a business and first and foremost the broadcasters dictate the schedule. And when Salah was asked about his contract situation, he said, no one at Liverpool Football Club talked to me about anything, so I don't know the situation. But there is no chance that Liverpool would want to lose Salah, even if they wanted to repeat their Philippe Coutinho move of cashing in and then reinvesting the money. The buyers are simply not there in the current market to pay 150 million for Mo Salah. And probably Salah will hear more about his contract once the season is finished. And also Haaland's agent Mino Raiola came out and he has been speaking about what it will take to get Haaland from Dortmund. Haaland is interested in two things: scoring goals, because he's like Cristiano Ronaldo or Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He has that positive obsession, and winning titles. He will choose surely where those two things together happen more, and I think he will also choose a club that can afford him, and there might not be too many of those to pick from this summer. I think Man City are one of the biggest candidates for that, because they will need a striker after, Aguero is departing, and Man City is probably, they have all the money in the world, even during the pandemic. And Melissa Reddy, another very reliable journalist who I really enjoy her articles, and she said, before the global pandemic, Liverpool acted cautiously in the transfer market to create reserves should a generational talent or a real difference maker be available at the right time for the right price. The club bought Diogo Jota to bolster the attack, but there is awareness that the offensive trio of Firmino, Mane and Salah has been overplayed, and they are still not getting any younger. So Sancho's excellent performances at Borussia Dortmund have exploded his value to a point that it's unrealistic for Liverpool. Now with an exit clause, it is an unlikely deal because of the financial situation as a result of COVID. Liverpool do not play expensive poker games, either like Man City, Man United or Chelsea, who can afford to do so. The transfers last summer were all on flexible terms. Wolves, for example, only accepted around 10% of the guaranteed transfer fee for Jota for the first year of his transfer. So that puts a little bit of a doubt on whether the Jadon Sancho deal can happen. But I think if Liverpool make the right moves in the transfer market in terms of selling players, Wijnaldum will be off the wage bill. Probably we are selling Divock Origi, Xherdan Shaqiri, maybe even Naby Keita, Harry Wilson, other players. Liverpool will be able to generate close to 40 to 50 million pounds. And now what if we blow almost all of our transfer budget on Jadon Sancho? The big problem with that is we still want to sign Ibrahima Konate, we still want to sign Ozan Kabak, there is an 18 million option to buy. And you know, how do you come up with 150 million basically for those three players? That will be very, very difficult, but not impossible for Liverpool. And a lot will depend on whether Liverpool will get Champions League football or not. So yeah, let me know what do you think about all the things that we discussed in this video. Leave a comment and thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.